Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, once again here to Virtual Racing Network. Tonight we are here at Atlanta Motor Speedway on iRacing for the RACECORE Xfinity Series presented by Global Building Contractors. Again, we're here at Atlanta Motor Speedway, also known as Hotlanta. It is 110 degrees out on this track right now. But we'll get into all of that here in just a few moments. Of course, before we do that, we need to thank the sponsors for tonight's race. Those include Gold Cube for coming on board here last season, and they have continued to do so for this season. iRacing Drivers World. And, of course, the presenting sponsor here for tonight's race there is, for some reason, those are not going away. There we go. Global Building Contractors. A big shout out to them for coming aboard. They are the title sponsor here for this series and, of course, tonight's race as well. On the broadcast side of things, we wouldn't be here for 2019 if it wasn't for the following partners. Northwest Racing Series, your official one-to-go sponsor for tonight's race. Wolves Beard Co. Beard Balm, your official grid sponsor for tonight's race. RaceOnTexas.com, the official dirt and short track sponsor of VRN. SimSpeedShop.com, your official button box company here of Virtual Racing Network. Make sure you check them out for all your button box needs. iBog, iRacing Broadcast Overlay Graphics, your official graphic sponsor here, or overlay sponsor technically, of VRN. And of course, RACECORE themselves, Hanover Wrecker Service, your official caution sponsor for tonight's race. On the Edge Motorsports, your official Wicked Energy Gum retailer. Make sure you check them out at ontheedgemotorsports.com to pick some of that gum up today. And, of course, Huffman Designs, your official paint booth of Virtual Racing Network. If you need a design made, make sure you check them out on Facebook at Huffman Designs. That being said, that will do it here for the sponsors for tonight's race and tonight's broadcast. We have about 13 minutes left on the clock before we get into all of the racing details. Or until we get into qualifying, technically. Again, this is the RACECORE Xfinity Series presented by Global Building Contractors here for the RACECORE Online Racing League. Let's go ahead, if we could, bring up that track map just to give you a kind of a feel for this as they're in a driver's meeting. This is the track right now, and let's actually go to a different camera angle if we could. There we go, so we can get a better picture of this diagram. This is how your track looks for these drivers here. The spots we are going to be looking for is there's really nothing major about this track as far as the shape. It's not really all that uncommon to most tracks. However, the tri-oval area is going to be a place to be looking for. Anywhere from, you see that gray line where the towards the left of your screen, pit entrance to pit exit. That's considered the tri-oval. You're going to have to be very careful right there. Coming out of turn 4, it can get very tricky going into that tri-oval, and the same for going out of the tri-oval, going into turn 1. It can be a little slippery down there. If you get in too low into corner 1, you could potentially spin this car out. We're going to have to watch our drivers in that area, and really any thing. I would expect coming out of turn 2 into that back stretch could be a little treacherous if you get into the outside wall. There are several spots you could potentially get into trouble here for tonight, so we'll go ahead and get rid of that. But again, a lot of places that could potentially be problems for the drivers here tonight. And there you go, James Zarello in chat here tonight. Our next point of topic here is, you see all the way to the front, you see all the way to the back here. Let's go a little further back here, and you see, look at all the pit stops here. You see every one of those little I don't know, you'd call them their pit stalls, little toolboxes with the computers and stuff on top. This is a full field. There are 43 drivers here tonight. It is a full field of drivers. As he said, an EOL tonight, if you get that penalty or a penalty from last week, it is going to be a royal nightmare to come through this field. As if, say you're starting 43rd, you are going to have to fight your way through this field. So I know we have some drivers out there that do choose to not qualify and work their way through the field. I highly do not recommend doing that here tonight. Not with a 43 car field. It is going to take every bit of skill and know-how to get through this field if you have to start in the back. That being said, speaking of the track itself, let's go ahead and bring up a little bit of our track facts here, our BDCcoatings.com track facts here for Atlanta Motor Speedway. The opening scenes of the 1980 movie Smokey and the Bandit 2 were actually filmed here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Just some information some of you may or may not know, but again, part of that was filmed here at Atlanta Speedway. And another filming thing is the track was used as a filming location for the 2017 heist comedy film Logan Lucky as a stand-in for some scenes. It was actually it was for CMS Charlotte Motor Speedway, so they actually repainted the walls for that particular movie here at Atlanta to look like Charlotte Motor Speedway. So this track has been involved in multiple movies. So this is again just some tidbit of information out there here for your track facts, presented of course by BDCcoatings.com. So make sure you check them out for all your floor coating needs. I'm probably sure you've seen some of them, Raising Cane's, a bunch of different restaurants and stuff like that. You've been in any floor coatings like that, they have probably been involved in. That being said, let's go ahead and pull up your track information here, presented by Bulletproof Tees. Here at Atlanta Motor Speedway, 1.51 mile track. It is 4 turns, of course, here. A tri-oval based track. Altitude 843 feet. And of course, your race distance in miles, that is here in practice. So that's not going to be 100% accurate. It will be, I believe, 60 laps that we have here tonight. We'll have to take a look and find out for sure. 90 laps. Sorry, 90 laps here. As we have quite a few laps to get around this place here tonight. 108 degrees is your track temp. That has actually gone down since they're sitting here on pit road. When we came into this race, it was actually 11 degrees warmer at 119 degrees, and I expect to see this track heat up even more. As you can see out there with those clouds that are moving across very slowly. It's hard to see, but they are indeed moving across here. We may see some little shadows cast on certain parts of this track throughout the race, and that's when we're going to see a potential faster lap run, is when they do that. When they get that little bit of shadow, it's going to give them a little bit of grip. That track will go down in that area, and we could see a faster lap run here tonight. Your wind right now, 5.56 miles an hour, basically, out of the northeast, and that will be changing and fluctuating here throughout the night. So again, your track information here tonight, presented by Bulletproof Tees. As we've got a lot of stuff there, and wrong button is we got some new animations in here. We apologize for that. We don't have our point standings in the graphics yet. Unfortunate, that is not happening yet. We are working on getting those in. But to go over your point standings here, coming into tonight's race, it is Thiago Vieira that is leading this point standings. Again, we didn't get to talk to him last week at the race, and we were informed he does not speak English. He is not from the U.S., so props to win here as his first race, not even from the U.S. So I believe they said he's from Brazil is where I heard. So unfortunately not here, but if we do have to talk to him again, we have a translator on standby to talk to him. Second place right now is Jack Fellers with, of course, 45 points for Thiago and 43 for Jack. Then you have James Zarello in third place. Last week we did get to talk to him, followed by Dennis Ellis, Bryson Barker rounding out your top 5, and then a tie for 6th with Scott Masick and Francois Peltier. 8th through 10th are going to be as follows: Alex Huffman, Jonathan Ellis, and says Joker Johnson. That is actually Matthew Johnson, is what we'll be referring to him here today. And of course, to round out through 20th. Below that, then you have, of course, Justin Starr, Josh Coley, Reese Milton, Brandon Young, Jeff Merck, Damian Leininger, Jason Covington, Brandon Needham, which is actually tied for 17th, 19th, and 20th. Actually, 19th tied for 20th is going to be James Morgan and John Van Varellis. Sam Crow sitting in 21st, just outside of the top 20 right now, looking in. So we'll see if he can fight his way into the top 20 here. So we got about 5 or so minutes left in practice. They are in a driver's meeting here at the moment, so we will not have a chance to talk to them. Let's go take a look here just real fast at our countdown to green. There it is, 5 minutes on the clock, as it is the countdown to green flag drop for qualifying. Of course, for anyone that's new here tonight, of course, I am Charles Wooten here in the booth with you. I am producing and announcing here tonight, as we do not have a second chair for this series, so I am doing both here tonight. So we are definitely glad to be here. One thing I want to bring up here is we will bring up our main thing here. Let's go ahead and drop down our running order here, as it's going to show everybody in the pits. That is where they're at right now due to the driver's meeting. This is going to give you a bit of a rundown here, though, of where everyone is. You see David Estes, a new driver this season, and the number 85 machine. He is currently sitting at the top of the charts with a fast time of 30.819. Right below him is going to be Dustin Covington, and the number 48 right now with a 30.846. And again, we want to point that out because Dustin Covington, not new, he has been pretty good as far as performance goes here. This is his second time in 2 weeks that he's been up at the front. Jameer Muhammad currently sitting in third place with a 30.857. And I want to point that out because last week, Jameer Muhammad did not have quite as good a run as he wanted to. As you heard in the point standings, he was not in the top 20. So did not have the run he quite wanted to here in the first race at Daytona. It was a decent race, actually a pretty good race, but just didn't work out for him the way he wanted to. This could be his night to kind of redeem himself from Daytona. I want to point out, though, we could see a big one here. We really didn't see that big one at Daytona that I thought we possibly could have seen. The question is, will we see that here tonight? We've had 2 pit parties before we went live. They were out here practicing, and they bunched them up and tore up a lot of cars during those pit parties. So we very well could see a beginning of the race or even a restart. We could see some cars get wadded up here tonight. That'll just be a matter of if that does happen. We'll see. We're going to go ahead and get rid of that, as we have just under 3 minutes ago, 2.5 technically left on the clock. So we're going to go ahead and get rid of that off your screen. We're going to step away here for just a minute. We will be right back to recap here in practice, and we will be moving on to qualifying. All right, we are back, ladies and gentlemen, with 1:20 left on the clock. Again, just to recap here for practice, as we got, again, 1:20. Of course, I am your host here for tonight's race, Charles, in the booth, producing and announcing here for tonight. No second chair with us. It looks like they are getting ready to roll out onto the track. Let's go ahead and get down the countdown to green off your screen there. And just so everyone knows, here they are coming out onto the track. Of course, all aerial coverage for tonight's race is going to be brought to you by Sam's Ford. So again, aerial coverage for tonight's race is provided by Sam's Ford out of Corpus Christi, Texas. If you are in the market for a new Ford, check them out. Just Google Sam's Ford, Corpus Christi, Texas, and you can go check them out as you see some cars getting a little loose there. Jameer Muhammad and Alex Huffman there, as it's going to be Mikey Neal taking off and leaving them. Because of that, we'll go ahead and go back to our main camera here. And of course, go to the scenic cam here as we have 16 seconds left on the clock. And we will be moving on to qualifying. Coming up next, again, we will try our best to cover everyone we can. Well, there's 43 drivers here for tonight's race. It is going to be a very interesting race, to say the least. Who's going to qualify? Who's not? Who's going to be starting at the back of the field for tonight's race? If you wanted to see a great race here from the Atlanta Motor Speedway, well, here is your chance. As there it is, caution is out thanks to Hanover Wrecker Service. We'll go ahead and bring the rest of that bar up as we will bring your qualifying bar onto the screen. And let's jump right into the mix of things here. As we're coming out on the track, we'll bring up your qualifying and driver bars. It's going to be Mikey Neal, going to be the first one out on the track. Again, a ton of drivers technically out on the track already here, as we have Brian Bizzle, Mikey Neal, Jameer Muhammad, Brian Dorsett, Alex Huffman, Charles Hoffman, David Estes, Justin Starr, Jonathan Ellis, Reese Milton, Butch Frazier, Pat Satterfield, Jack Fillers, Josh Reeves, Bryson Barker, J.W. Lopez, and Chris Brown out on the track right now. So we have a ton of drivers that have already made their way out to the track. We'll see who is going to be the first one to officially put in a time. I have a feeling it's going to be a real close battle here with Mikey Neal and one other driver somewhere around Jameer Muhammad, maybe Brian Dorsey out there. We will see. You'll see those times in as soon as we will, as we're actually going to go ahead and put the green flag there. It's not under caution anymore. We'll see. It's going to actually be Chris Brown with a 30.559, and he drops to second now as Mikey Neal jumps to first with a 30.559. And, sorry, that was his time there. Chris Brown actually ran a 30.668. They swapped so fast we didn't even get a chance to see it there. Alex Huffman with a 30.638.010 behind his teammate as Alex Huffman is going to drop to third. Jameer Muhammad to the top of the charts, 30.549. Oh, he runs a very fast time there, 0.010 still from first to second, even though it's a different leader here in qualifying. Let's go back a little bit here. Let's check in with Charles Hoffman in the 63, currently coming out on to the track. We have a new driver right here. He's not coming out as Rodrigo Munez, who's out on the track, or fixing to be out on the track. We'll check in with him here in a minute. Let's go over to Bryson Barker in the number 84 Red Bull machine. As he is out on the track here, getting ready to put in a qualifying time. Let's check in and see what he does place. Matthew Ellis in the number 6 machine, currently in the 6th position with a 30.684. Again, we talked about last week's winner here. He is out on the track right now in that number 52. Diego Vieira is out on the track in the number 52 machine. We'll see where he stacks up. Austin Edstrom, who made his return in that one sim, number 88 machine. He is currently in 3rd place here with a 30.600. So we'll see if he can put it back in victory lane. We were told by Mikey Neal, if Austin Edstrom was here, count on him to be winning this race, as he dominated the top split in official this week. So we'll see if he can do so, and he is currently 4th fastest now, 30.600. Still is last week's winner. Diego Vieira in the number 52 takes the top of the charts with a 30.535. That will put him at the top of the charts here, as we'll see Alex Huffman back in 6th place. Sterling Smith out on the track in the number 17 machine with that extreme, I believe it says Extreme Sim Racing on the side of it and on the hood. Where will Sterling stack up here in tonight's race? All we're about to find out as qualifying is just at the 1 minute mark left to go. Sterling Smith on his qualifying lap. And looks like he will put it in this time right there at the flag stand. And it's going to be a 30.724. That'll put him in 13th place here in qualifying. Let's go see if we can check in with his teammate Brandon Young in the 51 as he puts in a time of a 30.862. That'll put him in 23rd here for the start of this race. Again, we'll see if he does indeed beat that time just a little bit, as we'll check in with Reese Milton, who's not coming out on the track. Rodrigo Munoz, who is out on the track right now in the number 79 machine. We'll see as he is about to put in a time. This time by right there will be lap number 1, 30.886. That will put him in 26th spot, right behind Trevor Graffam in a 25th. It looks like Reese Milton not going to come out onto the track just yet. So we have several drivers that are not coming out, as that's going to do it for qualifying here. It is now time to take to the grid here for tonight's race. Again, the 52 of Thiago Vieira is going to be your pole sitter for tonight's race. Again, it could be a very, very interesting race to determine who is going to win this one here tonight. Before we do anything, though, we're going to go ahead and drop down to the track with these drivers and go ahead and go through your Walls Beard Co. starting grid here for tonight's race. On row 1, it is going to be the 52 of Thiago Vieira and the 2 of Jamir Muhammad. Row 2 is going to be the 8 of Mikey Neal and the 88 of Austin Edstrom. Row 3 is going to be the 84 of Bryson Barker and the 84 of Bryson Barker and the 83 of Alex Huffman. Row 4 is going to be the 94 of Jeff O'Quinn and the 85 of David Estes. Row 5 is going to be the 60 of Jeff Merck and the 1 of Chris Brown. Row 6 is going to be the 6 of Matthew Ellis and the 9 of Brian Dorsey. Row 7 is going to be the 11 of Dennis Ellis and the 81 of Carlos Maciel. Row 8 is going to be the 17 of Sterling Smith and the 32 of Jack Fellers. Row 9 is going to be the 27 of Jonathan Ellis and the 63 of Charles Hoffman. Row 10 is going to be the 69 of Josh Reeves and the 21 of Matthew Johnson, even though it says Joker Johnson there. Row 11 is going to be the 24 of Brian Bizzle and the 22 of J.W. Lopez. Row 12 is going to be the 51 of Brandon Young and the 99 of Justin Starr. Row 13 is going to be the 47 of Trevor Graffam and the 79 of Rodrigo Munoz. Row 14 is going to be the 25 of Pat Satterfield and the 19 of Francois Peltier. Row 15 is going to be the 14 of Adam Henderson and the 56 of Mike Watts. Row 16 is going to be the 555 of Butch Frazier and the 10 of Jason Covington. Row 17 is going to be the 45 of Brian Jones and the 76 of Reese Milton. Row 18 is going to be the 33 of Josh Coley and the 48 of Dustin Covington. Row 19 is going to be the 13 of James Zarello and the 16 of Brandon Needham. Row 20, as they're getting ready, is going to be the 78 of John Van Rellis and the 3 of Damian Leininger, and then the rest of your field, row 21, Sam Crow and Justin Spear, and row 22 is going to be Craig Covington. And that will do it here for the Walls Beard Co. starting grid, as you put your main bar up onto the screen here as we are underway here. Stuff getting sorted out. Let's zoom out just a little bit here to get a bigger picture of this race. As you see, it is underway, and we have, again, 43 cars, and already actually 42 as Rigo Munoz did not start the race here tonight, so 43 drivers going to be starting tonight's race, as it is going to be a very interesting one. Again, that is a huge field. We rarely see a full field of drivers here, as one of them unfortunately did not start the grid, but we have 42 cars out on the track. So two guys that are from Brazil, one leading, one dead last right now because he didn't start the race. This could get very interesting, as it looks like he is now on pit road. There he is, sitting on pit road in that number 79 machine. Let's check in with the front of your field, as it is Austin Edstrom that is running in second place right now, trying to lead this race, but not quite happening here, as we'll check in back here a little ways. There is Jonathan Ellis in the 27 machine, off pace and coming off pit road there for 0.9 seconds. Looks like he just went down pit road for a few seconds there, but did not actually take a stop. So very interesting there what might have happened, but he has damage, so something happened to him. A no caution will come out. We go back to the front. Here goes the 88 of Austin Edstrom to the inside of Diego Vieira. Can he get him for the lead? We'll see. You're watching again the 88 of Austin Edstrom currently in second place. Battle for the lead, side by side to go into turn number 3. He is trying to take full advantage of those fresh tires right now. This track is currently 105 degrees. It has gone down 14 degrees since we came here earlier this afternoon to get this thing started. So while you're watching that battle, let's go back and also look at the driver right behind him, Mikey Neal, currently in third place. He's going to try to make something happen to it, and your leader disappears from the race. Diego Vieira is gone. Something happened to his connection. Again, he's from Brazil, so this may not be completely unheard of here. Going back to your leader here, may have dropped connection because of being so far away from the server that they're running on right now. That is not a good thing after winning last week to possibly lose connection here tonight. That is going to be a devastating blow to his points lead. Although the driver that will benefit the most from that, if he can fight his way to the front of this field, if we can even find him here in the list, as this is a huge thing. There it is, back in 24th spot. That is that driver right there, the 32 of Jack Fellers. He looks to be the points leader after tonight's race. Based on how they run, he's second in points right now. And if he can gain a few more spots, he might be able to capitalize off of this. But really, the driver that I think would probably take it unless something happened would be James Zarello. But I do not see him here tonight. As, there he is. He is here indeed, back in 32nd. So as they run, it would be the 32 of Jack Fellers that would possibly take the lead. So we'll see how this one shakes up throughout the rest of this race, as we're going to go back to the front. Now Mikey Neal trying to make a run at Austin Edstrom here to see if he can make something happen. Behind them is Jeff Merck. Bryson Barker and Jameer Muhammad will be your top 5 drivers. We're going to pull that up on the screen for you. Those are your top 5 drivers right now, as it looks like they are going to shake it up here just a little bit. And we'll see, our timing is appearing to be a little messed up there, so we will have to look at that. As you see, Jameer Muhammad is currently in 4th place, even though it is showing him in 5th. He's actually in the 4th spot, so that is where he's at. We'll see if he can possibly gain a few more spots here for before the finish of tonight's race. Obviously doing a fantastic job. We'll go ahead and get rid of that off of your screen. If you're just tuning in with us here tonight, you're watching the RACECORE Xfinity Series presented by Global Building Contractors here on Virtual Racing Network. Of course, that division of RaceOnTexas.com. We'll be explaining more about that here coming next week, as we'll be releasing a full press release on that. Let's go and check here. There's Jameer Muhammad, again after a disappointing finish last week, recovering from it this week. You can count on him to be up front just about any time there is a race here for RACECORE. It's an outstanding driver, and pretty much your entire top 5 right now top 6 if you really want to get into it. Austin Edge from Mikey Neal. Jeff Merck putting his mark into the series. Jamir Muhammad, Bryce Barker, Alex Huffman, all of these drivers in those top 6 right now are guaranteed to be there just about any race they are in. And we'll see. We don't want to give them too much credit. Let's go back and look through this field here. As there you see, after being a little late to the show, the 79 of Rodrigo Munoz is now in the race, back in 42nd spot, 3 laps down. Unfortunately, one of his teammates there, Thiago Vieira, last week's winner, now out of the race here, 7 laps down as he comes to the line. Let's go to about midfield here, about 22nd or so. Not too terribly much going on here. You got the 56 and the 22 of Mike Watson, J.W. Lopez. Again, just not too terribly much happening between these guys here. We'll go a little further back, go to Brandon Needham. And even a little further back, go to Justin Starr. There's starting to be a little bit of a battle going on back here. Justin Starr, of course, with Brian Jones, Damian Leininger. These guys are still too wide back here at some places during this race. So this is definitely a place to check in. Look how many cars there are. Woo, Damian Leininger not being able to control that car here tonight too well. He gets way out of shape. Somehow saves it, but way out of shape. I would not want to be the 13, the 32, or the 48 if I was around him. Again, that's going to be Jack Fellers, Dustin Covington, Josh Coley back here as well. That is not a safe place to be when you see someone getting that loose. The fact he's able to save it after getting into the wall there, it looks like, is quite amazing here. And just to get a better picture here, let's, again, go to the aerial coverage here provided by Sam's Ford out of Corpus Christi, Texas. Again, this is what we're watching here. You got a little loose, and look how close they really are together. Imagine being the 33 or the 48 that are sitting behind that 3 right now, as there you see him get loose again and battling with the 32 of Jack Feller. So he is definitely fighting a very, very ill-handling car here early in this race. We're only on lap 15 of 90, and that car is already loose. He's got a lot of racing left to go, and this gives you a really good picture of just what it's like to be here from the blimp camera, watching these guys here. As we'll go ahead and zoom in here to give you a better picture of the cars themselves. And you see there the 32 of Jack Fellers getting a little out of shape now. And he looked like maybe the 45 of Brian Jones may have got some of the air off of him. And now there's the 3 of Damian Leininger out of shape again as well. So, again, everyone's starting to get a little out of shape. These tires are starting to wear. This track is not called Hotlanta for no reason. It is very rough, and I mean very rough on tires. As we're going to go up here just a little ways to Justin Starr, who's battling right now, currently for 28th position with Brian Jones. James Lorello just ahead of him. Let's go up just a little bit further here to Sterling Smith and Josh Reeves. Josh Reeves, a actual real racer that runs under the Global Building Contractors sponsorship name. Currently doing fairly decent, sitting in the top 10 position. We'll see if he can do better than he did last week. Just did not finish the race. I believe finished somewhere around 30th last week, 32nd, somewhere in there. So he is another one looking to recover. Let's go to the front here, as it's Austin Edge from out front. He has now led 17 laps. We're on lap 18 here of the race, and I expect to see some really good battles between those two later on. Let's go a little further back here to Jamir Muhammad in the 2, the 60 of Jeff Merck. Those two side by side, and the driver really trying to capitalize off of all of that is the 84 of Bryson Barker, who is watching them too intently. Let's go on board here if we can with Bryson Barker here, and just kind of watch his point of view as he's watching these two battle for right now what is 3rd place, and he's going to try to make a hole there, and it was there, and he can not say force the issue, but he had plenty of room. He didn't do anything that potentially would have got either one of them wrecked. He saw a hole and he took it, and he is now going to be 4th place as he's going to take it from the 60 of Jeff Merck. Now he's trying to run down 3rd place, which is Jamir Muhammad. So we'll go ahead and go back to our main camera here. Again, so many drivers to keep track of here. We have a ton of drivers here And I know we got some fans out there again for hopefully we're pronouncing it right. Rodrigo, hopefully that is correct. As he is again, unfortunately, we checked in with him. Missed the start, so something happened. He did miss that start. Well, he is currently 3 laps down, but with 43 cars and 90 laps, rest assured, I think he'll probably be back on the lead lap here due to cautions and getting the wave around before this thing is all said and done. What we want to check in here is there's your leader on the backstretch right there. He's going into turn 3. We'll see when your leader, Austin Edstrom, gets to the line here. Let's zoom out just a little bit if you can. And we'll see Jonathan Ellis back in 41st, his last place. There he is. He is going into turn 2. So your last place cars are not that far away from potentially going a lap down, as there's your leader. And there's a last place. So this could get very interesting in the closing, or not even the closing laps here. About mid-race, as we're just about to lap 30 or so. We're on lap 22 here at the moment. Keeping in mind, which is going to come first? Us putting some cars a lap down, or will pit stops come first, or will a caution come first and change all of this theory? What we do know for sure, folks, is that gas is going to be a factor. They can make about 37 to 38 laps on fuel, and right now they're on lap 23. So those pit stops will be coming here in the next 10 to 12 laps is when we expect these drivers to start coming down pit road. Mikey Neal still hanging on to second place. Again, well, really against 6 very fast drivers at the front of this field right now. A driver we haven't talked about a whole lot. He's sitting in 8th place right now. That's the 94 in that great Clips Chevrolet Camaro. That is Jeff O'Quinn. We have not talked about him, and a brand new driver. This is his very first race here with us. He started 7th, and he is currently in 8th place. That is the lowest he's been, as he did drop 1 spot since the start of this race. But again, a driver that we have not talked about. This is his very first race. And dropping back here, we have Jeff Merck going down pit road. We're going to follow this here and see how it goes here. Not for necessarily penalties, but this is only on lap 25. This is well early, and he looks like he's going to have to back up possibly. He does indeed have to back up. The question is, something's not going right here, as he is still on pit road for 30 seconds. There it is. He's going to take left side, right side tires. Is he going to take left side tires as well? And he does. Left side and right. So it's 4 tires all around. And now we have more drivers coming down, as it's going to be Josh Reeves coming down pit road. Has a little damage on that car as well, the number 69 machine. Again, we were informed you could make 37 to 38 laps on fuel. They're coming down here on lap 26. So they're coming down 10 laps early. If we come down every roughly 25 laps, that is going to really shake it up. We're probably making it into a 2-stop race here. We'll go back to the front, as there is Austin Edstrom leading this race right now, as he's got the 8 right there. The 27 goes a lap down. Mikey Neal almost getting into his back bumper there, but that's the 27 of Jonathan Ellis. He is now officially a lap down. If you're going to pit, I don't know if I'm him, but I might go ahead and go down pit road and go ahead and get it out of the way here tonight for his first pit stop. He is officially 1 lap down. Let's go ahead and get rid of that off the top of your screen here. Let's bring up your official running order on the left hand of the screen. Definitely let us know. It's a new feature we've added in here for the race. Let us know what you think about it. If you like that top bar, or if you like the running order down at the side of your screen, so you can see where everybody is, or at least the top 20 here. Is there's 23 other people that are not listed here tonight. We may have to switch that up to where it rotates around just a little bit before it's all said and done and finalized here. Let's zoom out here just a little bit if you can. And we're going to start seeing these drivers come in a little bit more, as we've got the 16 and the 45 of Brandon Needham and Brian Jones battling. And there goes Matthew Ellis, as we just were fixing to mention him. He comes down pit road. He's going to take 4 tires and fuel here in that number 6 spot, or 6 car 6 spot, as he is in 36th spot right now. But your leaders are still opting not to come down, as we're closer to lap 30 now. We're actually on lap 30, so we're going to see different strategies here tonight. That is evident based on how everything is playing out. While we're here on lap 30 at the moment, we want to, of course, take a moment to once again thank everybody for tuning in here tonight to Virtual Racing Network. And, of course, if you are new here, definitely hit that thumbs up if you like the racing. And, of course, hit that bell to be notified of all upcoming events, and the subscribe button as your leaders start to come down. Alex Huffman not coming down. Austin Edstrom, Jameer Muhammad, Mikey Neal. It looks like Bryson Barker going to be coming down. So most of your top guys coming down pit road. Austin Edstrom with a good stop. Mikey Neal had a good stop. And it looks like it's going to be the 2 of Jameer Muhammad that doesn't have to stop here. He has to back up on pit road. As you can see, those are your top 4 drivers right now that are on pit road. And if it's all said and done, it's going to be the 88, then the 8, then the 2 that come out of pit road in that order. As here comes Alex Huffman down pit road. I'm not sure if that was planned to come in a lap later, or maybe if he just couldn't get down to pit road safely in time and be able to make it. We'll see. He comes down a lap later than his teammates and the rest of the top 4 or 5 guys. So we'll see. Brian Bizzle is your new race leader at the moment. That's what we're thinking, Jason, as to rotate it back and forth. It really comes in handy when they're doing pit stops. As you can see on there, it says in pits, as we have our first caution out. And we'll try to take a look and see where it is, as we got cars everywhere. We got cars on pit road. Now let's go take a look. It's going to be for the 11 of Dennis Ellis. Let's go ahead and get rid of that running order off the side, and let's go back and take a look and see what happened to the 11 of Dennis Ellis here while we're in a caution for the first time for Hanover Wrecker Service. We're going to have to go back a little bit further here. There you see all these guys battling. Let's go look at the aerial coverage provided by Sam's Ford here for caution number 1. The Hanover Wrecker Service caution. And something going wrong here for the 11 is who we're looking for here of Dennis Ellis. We'll see right there the 11, the 99, and I'm not sure who that is battling. He threads the needle and it doesn't quite work. The 11, oh, and then he tags the 99 of Justin Starr. Justin Starr saving it. What a save for the 99 of Justin Starr. And then it looks like Jack Feller's going to get him again. I believe that's who it was. Let's go ahead and take that off. Let's go back and take another replay there from a different camera angle. Again, you're watching the 11 of Dennis Ellis threading a needle. I don't think he probably should have made that move. It's right there. You see he tags, I'm not sure who that is. Then he gets into Justin Starr, and what a save for Justin Starr. But there it is right there, the bumper to the rear from the 32 of Jack Fellers. To threading the needle, well, just that hole was just not quite there, as we are under caution for the first time, and it looks like John Vanderellis has just expired his engine here, as he has pulled it to the infield, or the, I guess not really infield, the thing, yeah, there it is, shutting it down. So John Vanderellis, engine expiring due to damage, he's going to have to tow it to pit road. That will give the lead, when it's all sorted out according to our charts, to Brian Bizzle. So again, we are under caution here for the first time, thanks to Hanover Wrecker Service sponsoring this caution. As we again take a look here at your caution information here for Atlanta Motor Speedway. And here the quad oval, 1 caution for 1 lap, 4 different lead changes so far here in tonight's race. The question is, who's going to be coming down pit road, who's not? That could get a little dicey here, as most of these guys have pitted, as it looks like Brian Bizzle is going to be scored as your race leader. Austin Edstrom not going to be able to take the lead back here how he wanted to. We'll see how quickly he can take it back when we go racing again. But since we're under caution, we are going to step away for a quick commercial break. We'll be right back. All right, we are back, ladies and gentlemen, as the caution lights are off on the pace car. Of course, real fast before we get back to the racing action, we want to remind everybody, if you haven't liked the VRN Facebook page, do make sure you're over there by tonight. Tomorrow we will be releasing an official press release regarding Virtual Racing Network and our future. So make sure you head on over there and like that page. Right after this race, again, that press release will be coming out tomorrow morning officially regarding Virtual Racing Network's future here on iRacing, as the green flag is back out here. We are underway once again, as it's going to be Brian Bazell that is out front, Austin Edstrom behind him. As we got a really good battle starting to brew here for first place. 0.099 seconds separating first and second right now. We'll hang with these guys for just a little bit. We have a lot of battles going on behind them as well. Look at this little battle going on between Austin Edstrom and Bryson Barker in the 84 and the 83. It's right there battling with the 80s going on here in the mix. We'll keep an eye on that lead as well to let you know exactly what happens. As there you see, they've rotated positions here since Austin Edstrom on the outside. Now it looks like he's going to try to make that run and make the pass on the outside. This will be interesting. We have not seen too many passes that have been made on the outside. So we've seen most of those done here on the inside. This could get really interesting as he is going to complete the pass. Austin Edstrom back for the lead here in that number 88 machine. Again, we have not talked to Austin Edstrom in quite some time, as now the 24 is going to take to the high side, as it looks like Mikey Neal's going to take to the bottom. And maybe that 8 car of Mikey Neal's handling a little bit better on the bottom side. He can get by. We'll see. Right now, we are on lap 39. Again, once we get to lap 45, we will officially be at the halfway point here for tonight's race, as this field is really starting to shake things up here. Go ahead, and we're going to go back a little bit, but before we do, let's go ahead and put your top 3 up there, as we're going to go back here to Jack Fellers, your second place driver in the points right now, currently in 19th position, as he's got his work cut out for him. Your points leader out of the race, who lost connection or something early in this race. Look at this, 3 wide going into the corner. Now Jack Fellers having some connection issues as well. Well, let's go back a little, or forward a little ways here, as you see Trevor Graffam in the 47, and again, the 21 is Matthew. Oh, and the Graffam gets to the back of the 21, and he gets him loose so he can get by him. We'll see. Let's go back and see if we can't take a quick look at that real quick here. That was Trevor Graffam in the 47. Let's go back here real quick and see if we can't take a look at that as we go to the aerial view. And you'll watch him. He gets him loose here. He gets to the back bumper. Doesn't spin him, though. But he does rattle his cage just a little bit right there. Bumps him. And I'm not too sure if the 21 didn't possibly have a little bit of a wiggle there to start that to begin with. But either way, the 47 does get to his back bumper and get him a little looser. Help him get a little looser than he already was. And that will, of course, net him about a 3-car loss. As Mikey Neal, speaking of losing some positions, is starting to lose some here, but he is battling side by side with the 24, Brian Bizzle, trying to hang on to it. But this time now he's got the 83 of Alex Huffman, his teammate, coming in there to help him as well. So he may have a little bit of comfort knowing that his teammate is behind him trying to push him. The question is, can he do it? As we have a lap car getting into the mix here, the 79. Again, that is Rodrigo Munoz. Hopefully that is correct. He is currently 4 laps down, but he is still just as fast as everybody else out there. And he is going to battle with these guys just a little bit. So this is going to shake things up now as he squeezes right in between 2 lap cars, the 8 of Mikey Neal and the 83 of Alex Huffman. Again, granted, he is 4 laps down. It's not due to damage, though. It is due to the fact that he missed the start. So while he is multiple laps down, he is still just as fast as these guys, trying to earn his laps back the hard way. So we'll see if he can do so. The question is will he have enough time, as we are officially at the halfway point, this time by Austin Edstrom in the 88 leading this race. When he gets to the line, we will have completed half this race, and we have only seen 1 caution so far. I really thought we would see more than that. I honestly did. As hot as this track is, although the track is dropping temperature now down to 103 degrees from 119 when we started. But there it is right there. We have completed the halfway point here as we are on lap 46 of 90 here at Atlanta Motor Speedway for tonight's race. If you're just tuning in with us, of course, you've missed some exciting racing this night for the RACECORE Xfinity Series presented by Global Building Contractors here on Virtual Racing Network. Again, this is a race of the RACECORE Online Racing League. As we'll see. Let's go back here to our 3rd place points driver. He's 3rd place in the points coming into tonight's race. That is James Lorello in the number 13 machine. We'll see. He's back in 27th right now. So from Daytona to Atlanta, we've seen some serious shakeups in the point standings right now. As again, Diego Vieira currently 43rd place due to connection issue. 3rd place is in 27th right now. And to check in with our 2nd place finisher last week, if we can even find him here. Again, they are shaking up all over the place here. That is Jack Fellers, and I'm not even sure where he is at the moment. There he is, currently 3 laps down, back in 37th place. So as they run right now, looks like he's going to have a blinking issue there. It looks like James Zarello would probably take the points lead, even though he's back in 27th place. We'll see. That could shake up a little bit different. We'll see who our 4th place driver is coming into tonight's race. That's Dennis Ellis. And Bryson Barker up there as well. Bryson Barker in 2nd place. So this very well could go to Bryson Barker for the points lead. So something to keep an eye on. And see if he can possibly make something happen later in this race. Maybe get the win and possibly secure himself a spot into that points lead. Again, this season they do have playoffs. If you win, you're in. So he needs to get that win to lock himself into those playoffs as well. That is an option he really needs to do if he wants to make sure he's in there 100%. So a lot of things going different this season compared to last season that we're going to be covering from start to finish. You're watching this little battle going on here at the moment between the 94, the 70, and the 81. That is, of course, Carlos Maciel, Sam Crow, and Jeff O'Quinn. That is a battle for currently 18th position. And why we're back here watching is because there's your leader, there's 2nd place. Not much going on, but look at this battle starting to build here between the 8 of Mikey Neal and the 84 of Bryson Barker. Again, that battle starting to build up here, and Jameer Muhammad and Alex Huffman trying to close that gap, and looks like Jameer Muhammad's doing a pretty good job of closing the gap here as well, as he is now 0.099 behind Mikey Neal. So two of the winningest most drivers in RACECORE history between Mikey Neal in the 8 and the 2 of Jameer Muhammad, currently running 3rd and 4th right now respectively. So we'll see if they can keep hanging on there. Here we're on lap 52 of 90. Again, ooh, and Mikey Neal going to, I thought he got a little loose. He may have just been trying to make a dive pass here on the 84. The 84, Bryson Barker, though, going to shut the door. He's not going to let the 8 of Mikey Neal in. He will have to find another line or potentially trick him just a little bit here and see if he wants to, if he really wants to get out of position. You may see Mikey Neal go up high or possibly fake going up high, but here comes the 2 of Jameer Muhammad to the inside. Mikey Neal now going to shut the door and not let him in either. But we are starting to see some serious back and forth here. People closing the door on each other as they know this race is coming to an end before you know it here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. As Mikey Neal to the back bumper of the 84, he gets him loose, spins him out, he goes to the grass. No caution so far for the 84, Bryson Barker. He's backwards in the trial. If he gets on the track, a caution will come out. Possibly no caution so far. We got cars wrecking. There it is. Caution is out. Let's go back and take a look as we got cars everywhere after the caution does come out, and Justin Starr gonna be one of them. Let's go back and take a look as we're gonna have to go back a little bit further here and see if we can find where he's at the moment here. There he is. There's the battle. Let's go to the aerial camera here. Thanks to Sam's Ford out of Corpus Christi, Texas. As we're going to see exactly what happened. Did the 8 of Mikey Neal get to the back bumper, or was it just aero? And it's hard to see, but it looks like he may have got to him. And there you see him go through the grass. And no caution was out at this point. Still no caution. He was out of harm's way. He goes right there, and there the caution comes out right there as 2 cars go around. Justin Starr going to be one of them here. Let's go back and take a look here at the 99 of Justin Starr if we can here. Find him real quick, as there are a ton of them. So finding one driver here like a needle in a haystack. But again, there it is right there. Stop on the track. Let's go back here to the replay and see where they go. We got to find them again. Justin Starr right there. And a huge wreck. As we're going to go back one more time here, thanks to Sam's Ford. Let's see if we can take a look here at Justin Starr in the 99 to see exactly what happened to him. Again, we know he got into the 84 of Bryson Barker, and everybody's coming down pit road right now. And we'll go over those pit stops here in just a minute, but we want to see what happened to Justin Starr right there. Ooh, almost totally innocent. This thing didn't have a full bearing on the actual wreck in front, unless you might have seen somebody, they might have been trying to dodge it a little bit, but I wouldn't say it was 100% each other there, the one wreck affecting the other, but it did probably to an extent, but I don't think it was 100% to blame. That was almost 2 independent wrecks here as we're under caution. Again, all cautions sponsored by Hanover Wrecker Service for tonight's race, as it's Austin Edstrom out front. They're going to come down pit road here as we're going to go VRN non-stop here, side by side. We'll be right back here in just a few moments. All right, we are back, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see, everyone is now double file here for the restart. We are starting to get into closing laps. We will have 30 laps to go when we complete lap number 60. Everyone has made 2 pit stops at least here tonight, with the exception of Jonathan Ellis in the 27 machine being scored in 41st, sorry, out of this race. We'll see how this one goes. The pace car is diving off. And this time, let's go ahead and bring down your running order this time for the restart here. As the restart is underway, and it looks like a fairly decent one for everybody here tonight as we'll kind of go through the back of this field. And good start for everyone. No big major wrecks on the start here, which is surprising to me, to be honest, just for the sheer fact that during practice we saw several big wrecks. These guys get all that shaken out before they go to the race, and then here we've gone 59 laps with only 2 cautions so far in this race. Again, it's just outstanding how easy to go, and there goes the 3rd caution, as it's going to be for the 96 and the 3 of Damian Leininger. Well, let's go ahead and get rid of your running order, and let's go back and take a look and see what happened here to bring out the caution once again. So we'll go to the aerial coverage right there, and I'm not sure, a lot of cars getting involved in this one. Had a pretty good size there incident. Let's go back here one more time. We'll go back to our main camera. Let's go back and take a different angle here and see what happened. You're watching the 96 of Damian Leininger right here. And Craig Covington, Damian Leininger in the 3 was involved in this. Scrapes the wall. Looks like the 9 gets him, the 22, the 14 involved. And then right there, the 3 having nowhere to go, and then gets into the 96 of Craig Covington again as well. So multiple cars involved in this incident as well. As we go back to live, we're going to see some of these guys come down pit road, no surprise, as we figured they would. They do not have fast repairs here. So out of the 43 drivers that started this race, we currently have about 36 on the track here at the moment. Austin Edstrom has led most of this race. However, he of course has not led every single lap. He started 4th, and he has worked his way up to 1st. So again, he has not led every single lap here tonight, but he has led quite a few. As we are under caution once again here. Cautions sponsored by Hanover Wrecker Service. Well, again, if you're just tuning in with us here tonight, this is the RACECORE Xfinity Series presented by Global Building Contractors here on Virtual Racing Network. Again, we mentioned it earlier tonight in the race. Make sure if you're not a subscriber to the channel, you do so. And if you're not a member or have liked our VRN Facebook page, definitely go over and like that page. We will be releasing an official press release tomorrow morning that will kind of give some insight into the future of Virtual Racing Network here on iRacing. So definitely go like that page. Again, that official press release will be coming out tomorrow morning. So make sure you go check it out. So you can be one of the first to know exactly where VRN is headed here for the rest of 2019 and into 2020 and beyond that. All right, the lights are still on the pace car. Here's where you have less than 30 laps to go left in this race here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Let's go ahead and bring up your track information here. Of course, presented by Bulletproof Tees. If you need some t-shirts made, make a design, or they can make it for you, you can get a hold of Bulletproof Designs over at bulletprooftees.com, or you can give them a call at 318-278-7191. Let them know you heard about it here on Virtual Racing Network here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Again, just a outstanding track. It's known as Hot Atlanta. It's only 96 degrees here for your track temp. Again, keep in mind when we came into this race here for practice, before we went live, it was 119 degrees here at this track. It has cooled down significantly since the start of this race. So that track has gotten a lot cooler. You see these shadows starting to appear now because of that sun going down. It won't be dark here, but it will get a little darker, and we will see a few more shadows starting to take place here. Of course, your wind about 3 miles per hour out of the north. So a lot going on here for tonight's race so far. So we'll go ahead and get rid of that. Bring up your caution information real fast. As there you see it, we have had 3 cautions for 10 laps out of the 63 completed. 6 different lead changes. Again, all cautions are presented by Hanover Wrecker Service. A big shout out to them for coming on board here for 2019. As we are just moments away from getting the green flag one more time. We'll see, will this be the final caution of the night, or will we have more to come in this race? It looks like the 88 of Austin Edstrom is going to get a huge start to take lap number 65 of 90. Again, we currently will have 25 to go when we get to the line this time by. I don't think we're out of the woods when it comes to cautions. Look at them back here in the back, 3 and 4 wide back here. This is not what you want to see when you're back here battling with these guys. As we have our top 4 drivers, very, very fast drivers. We'll go ahead and put your main bar back up onto the screen. As you see, it's Edstrom, Neal, Muhammad, and Huffman that are your front 4 drivers right now. And then you've got the new guy, Jeff Merck, here for this season. And it looks like we got some cars going sideways. That's the 19 going around. Oh, and he gets nailed hard. Caution is out. That's going to be Francois Peltier in the number 19 machine. And that is going to bring out the caution. And it looks like Damian Leininger involved as well. The 63 looks involved. The 56 and the 9. Let's go back and take a look and see exactly what happened here. We'll go to the aerial view and see if we can get a picture there. And it looks like possibly the 47 gets into him of Trevor Graffin, spinning him around, and he gets hammered by 3 cars along the way. As it looks like Damian Leininger pretty much glitches through him here. Let's go back and take another look at that from a different angle here. See if we can figure out, did the 47 of Trevor Graffin have a part in this? Or was he already loose before he got to his back bumper is the question. And I'm not 100% sold the fact that Trevor Graffin got to his back bumper before he was already loose. Let's see. Let's go back one more time, see if we can get another view of that here. We're going to go back again here. Let's try to find him. If we can't find Trevor Graffin, as there he is being scored in 13th. Let's go to his nose camera here and see possibly if there was contact there. And indeed, contact was made, and around goes the 19 of Francois Peltier at the hands of the 47 of Trevor Graffin to bring out our 3rd caution here for tonight. Let's go back to our main camera here. Again, your caution information coming up onto the screen. Sorry, 4th caution for the night. Here with 11 caution laps, 7 different lead changes here for tonight's race. While we're under caution, we're going to step away for a quick commercial break, and we will be right back. All right, we are back, ladies and gentlemen. We're about to be on lap number 70. Looks like we're going to get this race started with about 20 laps to go. Of course, we want to thank everybody for tuning in here tonight. I know we got a lot of people out there watching. While we're under caution, we want to, again, just thank you all for tuning in. Of course, if you haven't before, hit that subscribe button. You'll be notified of all upcoming events here on the Virtual Racing Network channel, of course. Definitely, I know we just got a few. Head on over to the VRN Facebook page. If you haven't liked it before, do so. This is a very crucial time, as tomorrow morning, officially, a press release will be coming out here for the future of VRN and what our future holds anyway. So we have a lot of stuff to go over. So definitely make sure you head on over there and check that out before we release it there, so you'll be one of the first ones to know. That being said, we are going to go back to the racing action here. Is this right now Jamir Muhammad that is out front leading this race? We'll see where Austin Edstrom is. I don't even remember him doing anything, as he is currently, I don't even see him anywhere in the top 10. There he is. He's back in 9th place, as it looks like he opted to come down and take a pit stop when other people did not. But there it is, green flag back in the air. We are racing one more time. Jamir Muhammad out front, as we now have 20 laps to go here in the race. This could get very interesting, folks. Jamir Muhammad out front, Dustin Covington, followed by James Zarello, who finished third last week. Here he is sitting in third this week with a chance to potentially win this race over Dustin Covington and Jamir Muhammad. Brian Jones, Trevor, we're very familiar with. He's leading this little pack here of 6-7 cars, as they're too wide. You go single, 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 and then double wide for the next about 6 rows back, as we see sparks flying here for this race. As it's going to get very interesting again. Let's go ahead and put your top bar back up onto the screen. As you see there, the 27 lead, or the 2 leading the race. The 27 back into about 4th or 5th place. Let's get interesting, as it looks like the 45 is going to lose a few spots here after contact made. Back to the front we go. The 555 going down to pit road. Who is it going to be here? 18 laps to go. Let's go back and take a good look at this group here. Austin Edstrom trying to fight his way back to the front. He's went from 8th place to 4th in just 2 laps. And here he goes diving to the inside. He's got some fresh tires. Again, everybody ahead of him took only 2 sets of tires here. They've only pitted twice. He's pitted 3 times. Him, Jeff Merck has pitted 4. So we'll see. That last time was splash of fuel only. But it looks like with a 14-second stop, he took 4 tires and fuel here for Austin Edstrom. Everyone else only stopped twice. So he's got fresher tires than everybody here. Can he make it happen? As there goes a car going around. Looks like the 51. Will it bring out a caution? No caution so far. We're staying green here at Atlanta Motor Speedway for the RACECORE Extended Series, presented by Global Building Contractors. We got another car going through the infield. I believe that's the 60 of Jeff. No, I believe it was the 60 of Jeff Merck, but somehow recovers from it if that was him. And we got another car, the 24 of Brian Bizzle. Looks like he is was on pit road for 0.1 seconds. I'm not sure what happened there. He's coming back on pit road, or back off of pit road though. And he does have to merge after the blue cone. So we'll see how this one all plays out. Here comes Austin Edstrom. Roll over the back bumper of the 48 of Dustin Covington. We'll see, can Dustin Covington hold off Austin Edstrom? I'm not thinking he can. It's a side-by-side battle here with 15 laps to go. Jamir Muhammad looks to be a bit of a sitting duck out here right now with Austin Edstrom and those fresh tires. Again, we're talking 8 laps on the tires versus 20 for Jamir Muhammad. With this track the way it is, 98 degrees out there, Jamir Muhammad needs a caution here so he can regroup, possibly come down pit road and maybe get some fresh tires. But right now, from again 8th or 9th position to 2nd in just a handful of laps, It was just a matter of time for Austin Edstrom was able to get back to the back bumper of Jamir Muhammad. He's done it now. Here he goes. 14 laps to go. Going into turn number 3. He's side by side, taking to the bottom side. Jamir Muhammad doing what he needs to do to try to hold that 88 to the bottom. If he can, he'll wear those tires out a little bit more. He's able to hold him off here, coming to the line with 13 laps to go. Jamir Muhammad doing a fantastic job of holding off Austin Edstrom here for the race lead. Can he do it over and over again? He's got 13 laps and he has to do it. Can he hold him off that long is the question. I don't think so. I don't think he's going to be able to. It looks like Bryson Barker gets to the back bumper of Mikey Neal there. Gets him a little bit loose. Again, we just caught the tail end of that, so we don't know what led up to it. Those two battling extremely hard. Excuse me. Again, that is Mikey Neal and Bryson Barker battling it out here currently for 4th position as we're going back up to the front side by side. Austin Edstrom to the inside again, and he will take the lead this time going into turn number 3. Can he hold it and officially pass him is the question. It's going to be close coming to the line. I think it's going to be Austin Edstrom. We'll see if he can officially clear him. He will lead the lap, but he is not 100% clear of Jamir Muhammad, and I think Jamir Muhammad's going to have to concede the spot now as Austin Edstrom, there he is, officially does take the lead back here with 11 laps to go. So it took him about 10 laps to get to the lead, but he was able to do it again from 9th all the way up to 1st. Once again, here comes Jamir Muhammad to the inside. He's going to try to take it back here 1 lap later. Can he do it is the question. I just don't think he can. With double the laps, 25 versus 13, he has double the laps on those tires. I don't think he's going to have the speed he needs to try to get by. He may try to make something happen, but he's not going to race Austin dirty. So we'll see if and when he is able to get by. Let's go back a little bit here. You still see this battle going on as Mikey Neal was able to get by Bryson Barker, but now he's got to get by Dustin Covington in the 48, and it looks like he does that fairly easy. Again, also Mikey Neal, 13 laps, now 14 on his tires versus 27 on Dustin Covington. So 2 different strategies here for Mikey Neal and Austin Edstrom versus the rest of this field. This may net them a 1-2 finish here. Oh, we got someone hard into the outside wall. I believe that may have been James Larillo that was hard into the outside wall, but somehow managed to recover from it. That was a hard lick, a very hard lick here into that outside wall. Let's go up here once again though to Mikey Neal and take a look at this. Let's go on board with him if we can and see. There's the distance between 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. About an equal distance between 1st and 2nd and 2nd and 3rd. Going on to the backstretch, Mikey Neal almost scraping the wall there. He's able to hang on to it though as we're watching your front 3, and looks like Mikey Neal, you see he gets a really good run on Jamir Muhammad. Jamir Muhammad maybe a little bit sideways there in the turn going into the tri-oval. This is where it's really tricky. We're talking about right here going into turn 1. You do not want to enter too low. You see they're just not getting to the bottom by the time they get mid-turn, so you do not want to get in there too low. If you do, you could spin it out here. Those 3 pretty much settling it out here. Let's go a little ways back here where they're 3 and 4 wide, and I'm not sure what in the world the 85 of David Estes is doing right now, as he is all over the place. That car is just not handling at all what he probably wants it to, as he just about spun it out here with 6 to go. Going to be 5 to go when they get to the line again. As very interesting there. He's able to recover from it. To check in with our leaders coming into this race, of course, Diego Vieira out of the race due to a connection issue. To check in with some of our other drivers here, we can take a look here and see where they are. I'm not sure where some of them are at the moment. Again, oh, there it is. Jack Fellers is out of the race, so that's why. Then, of course, we just talked about James Zarello, who was our 3rd place finisher last week at Daytona, smacking the outside wall pretty hard, getting some damage out of that. So, unfortunately, all 3 of our top 3 finishers from last week not having very good finishes here at all tonight. However, the complete opposite for Jameer Muhammad and Mikey Neal, both of them not having very good runs last week, having great runs here tonight. So, you know, you talk about Atlanta being a tough track. This is the kind of track where these guys excel a lot. They're very good at these tracks. Daytona is 50% luck, 50% skill. You've got to be good to put yourself in a good position, but at the end of the day, a string of bad luck can just cripple you very easily here. And unfortunately, that may have been what happened to the 8 of Mikey Neal and the 2 of Jameer Muhammad. Austin Edstrom, though, leading this race right now. He has led 63 laps here with 3 laps to go left in this race. Going to be 2 to go at the line. There'll be 2 sticks waving when they get to the line. We'll see, can he hold off the hard-charging Mikey Neal? He got by Jameer Muhammad, but I'm just not sure. Mikey Neal may not quite have the speed, and he needs to get up there to Austin Edstrom. Again, it was Mikey Neal that we talked to earlier in this race before it went, when they were in practice in the pits before we went live. Mikey Neal said if Austin Edstrom is here tonight, this will be his race to win. That has proven to be the case here, as Austin Edstrom has a winning strategy, and he is doing a fantastic job of it. As it's 2 to go, it will be 1 to go this time by when they get to the line, as they're going into turn number 3 and 4 right now. That number 88, One Sim Chevrolet coming to the line. And there it'll be right there. 1 lap to go. Presented by Northwest Racing Series, as it is Austin Edstrom's race to lose. He is currently your race leader. Let's zoom out here, and you can see the distance between first and second. I don't think it's going to be much of that. It looks like it's going to be Edstrom, Muhammad, and Neal going to be 1, 2, and 3. This race cannot end under caution at this point. The white flag is waving as we have less than a lap to go. They're coming out of turn 4, and it's going to be the 88 of Austin Edstrom taking the checkered flag. Your race winner here tonight will be the 88 of Austin Edstrom, putting it in victory lane and only his 2nd race back after a little break here. So a big shout out to him for winning tonight's race. We'll be back here in just a moment. We'll go through your official or unofficial race results, as there is a ton of them, and then we'll move on to your post-race show. All right, let's get to your unofficial race results for tonight. Again, a full field of 43 drivers, of course. Getting the win here tonight is going to be the 88 of Austin Edstrom. 2nd place will go to the 2 of Jameer Muhammad. 3rd place will be the 8 of Mikey Neal. 4th place will be Bryson Barker in the 84 machine. And rounding out your top 5 will be the 94 of Jeff O'Quinn. And to round out the rest of your field, 6th place, Dustin Covington. 7th place, Alex Huffman. 8th place, Jeff Merck. 9th place, Jason Covington. And 10th place will be Reese Milton. 11th place, Sam Crow. 12th place, Trevor Graffam. 13th place, Josh Coley. 14th, Sterling Smith. 15th with James Lorello. 16th, Brian Jones. 17th, Pat Satterfield. 18th, David Estes. 19th, Chris Brown. And 20th will go to Brian Bazile. 21st will go to J.W. Lopez. 22nd, Brandon Needham. 23rd, Matthew Ellis. 24th, Rodrigo Munoz. Hopefully that is correct. 25th, Adam Henderson. 26th, Butch Frazier. 27th, Charles Hoffman. 28th, Justin Spear. 29th, Brandon Young. 30th will be Mike Watts. 31st, Justin the Star. 32nd, Dennis Ellis. 33rd, Francois Peltier. 34th, Ryan Dorsey. 35th, Craig Covington. 36th, Damian Leininger. 37th, Matthew Johnson. 38th, Carlos Masil. 39th, Jack Fellows. 40, well, there's no 40th for some reason. There we go, it's messing up. 40th will be Josh Reeves. 41st, John Van Rellis. 42nd, Jonathan Ellis. And 43rd will go to Thiago Vieira. That will do it here for your unofficial race results. What a race it was indeed. We'll be right back here with your post-race show coming up next. All right, we are back, ladies and gentlemen, here with your post-race show. We got our top three drivers here in the booth to have a little chat with them. Of course, finishing in third place here tonight is going to be the 8 of Mikey Neal. First off, as always, Mikey, welcome to the booth. To have you here in third place. Not a bad run indeed. But obviously, we were talking to you a little bit here before we live. Would like to be a little higher up in the finishing order, and felt you probably could have done it had you not had a little help out on the track. But overall, a great run. How did the car handle? And of course, this is Hot Atlanta, so what was this track like?
Overall, it was actually really well. It actually it was kind of a little bit looser on the longer runs, which was okay. I was expecting that, but it was really tight on the short runs, so you just kind of cooperate with it. The middle of the run, I think, is where my car was the best. It kind of had that middle of loose. It was a little bit loose, but it was also a little bit tight, and I think that's where my car was just awesome. And then when we got on the long run, obviously, I think the guy who had his beat tonight was Jameer. But I mean, it was just really hard to come off of turn 4. I think that was kind of the dangerous corner, but also that, and then it's just that everybody doesn't want to give up position, so you're trying to race them as hard as you can, especially when you have to race them. It's even worse, and you kill your tires here when you're side by side.
You definitely do. You kill those tires, and that's kind of a strategy. Unfortunate at a track like this, but it is. When you are side by side with someone, a key you can do is to pin them to a certain spot, because it does wear out those tires a little bit more. We saw some of that here tonight. But aside from the actual racing and stuff, we want to kind of backtrack here and talk about the actual car count here tonight, and talk about how important was qualifying good. Not so much for the tire aspect, but the sheer fact there were 43 drivers here for tonight's race.
Well, this is actually it makes it a lot better racing, to be honest. You have more people to race. You have a lot of guys up front who are really competitive, who are really smart with racing, and I think that's what it was tonight. Obviously, I didn't really go back there that much, but when I had to come back from 10th place or 11th place there on that restart, that's where I think I had not really done that all race. So that was going to become a crucial point of the race, and at least if I knew that I could get some guys, I'd be okay. And everybody actually raced really well. Nobody really raced dirty. I did get into Bryson a little bit. I apologize to him. It was all my fault. But, it was really aggressive racing, and that's what you got to do sometimes, especially here at Atlanta. But sometimes what I would do is I would just kind of let off and let the guy go below me because I know there's a bunch of laps left. And I did it a couple times with Jameer just because I knew he was much quicker, and you had to do that. So, I mean, with all the cars in here, you got to be smart. And instead of letting 10 cars by, it's better to let one car by. And I think that's just kind of the whole thing. Well, it's kind of the whole story of getting or having success here at Atlanta, especially if you have that. If you have clean air in the front of the pack, it's a lot better. And I think the car there, whoever was in the front, was just awesome tonight. And I saw Jameer up there, Austin up there, and it was just really tough to pass them because once you get around 2 car lengths, you just kind of couldn't do anything with it.
Well, definitely, clean air was key here tonight. That being said, we know you've got some sponsors and shout-outs. So who would those be here for that third place finish?
Yeah, first of all, we got to thank our main sponsor, Globe Building Contractors. Thank you guys so much. We also got to thank Gold Cube. They've done a really good job. Thanks so much for bringing Gold Cube into RACECORE. They're be sponsoring our next truck series, so it's awesome to have them here. Also got to thank Iverson Drivers World and Alex Huffman Designs. He's designed a lot of cars for everybody. He's also my teammate, so thank you, Alex. Also got to thank my other team, One Sim, and I got to thank you guys for broadcasting the race. I really enjoy having you guys. Got to thank my mom. Yeah, I know they're both watching. Love you guys. Also got to thank everybody for watching. We love having you guys every week, especially with these big fields. It just makes everything unpredictable. And also got to congratulate the top 3. Congratulations to Austin on that first place, and congratulations to Jameer there for second.
Again, congrats on third place. Of course, in the second place here for tonight's race, and somebody who's no stranger as well to finishing in the top 3. That is the number 2, finishing in second place, the Jameer Muhammad. Once again, you're sitting in a podium finish here. You led some laps here tonight, but in the end, Austin Edstrom was able to get the best of you there in those last closing laps. Of course, the question is, this is Atlanta. It's a tough track. It's a hot track. They're in that long run. Had we had maybe another 15 laps on the race, you think you could have run him back down?
It would have been interesting. I was kind of holding my own there. It wasn't really pulling away. With the tires getting worn out a little bit more, maybe. But Austin was pretty awesome tonight. Didn't really make any mistakes, and it was a fun race. It was fun racing with Austin again. It was fun racing with Mikey after not racing him for a couple of months, and it was the same way.
Definitely, we talk about the tires here and how they wear out. We had some really long green flag runs, and then we had some short runs with the cautions coming out. So to get your perspective as a driver here, when it comes to tires here, I know looking, you had 34 laps on your tires. Austin had 22. At what points in that run on those laps for tires, do they kind of even themselves out? So is it 40 laps in, 45? Kind of at what point do they just kind of level off and both cars come to a level playing field again?
I don't know. It's hard to say if it actually does level off. Even though I had 12 more laps on my tires, it was only 4 more green flag laps, so it wasn't like I was, on very old tires. But I was I stayed out there last minute, went through the grass, did not pit there. And I figured there would be a bunch of others because we only have 4 green flag laps on it. And I also figured there was going to be more cautions. I didn't think the cautions was over with. The way restarts are at the front stretch, it's crazy. there's wheel spin, barely on your throttle. So I just figured there was going to be more cautions. And then when I saw Austin have to restart at 10th, I was like, okay, this might work out because, maybe another caution, or it's going to give him a few laps to get up there. But then, after 2 laps, I saw he was in my relative at 0.7 behind. I was like, oh no.
Well, definitely restarts are tricky here. We honestly thought we would see a few more cautions than we did ourselves. So a really good race, especially considering it was a full field of 43 drivers. That's again, we all that aside, we know you got some sponsors and shout outs. So who would those be for that second place finish here tonight?
Yeah, congrats to Austin on a strong run. I'd like to thank Global Building Contractors, Gold Cube, Huffman Designs, and iRacing Drivers World.
All right, again, congrats on second place, and we'll look forward to seeing you in the top 3 again very soon, if not next week. And, of course, getting the win here tonight, we already talked about him when he was doing some celebrating there. And it's the number 88 of Austin Edstrom. Again, coming back after missing some races last season. This is his second race back out of 2. Daytona, I don't even remember how it quite fared for you here. Obviously, it wasn't quite as good as it was here tonight. You get the win. So how does it feel to be back and only after your second race putting it in victory lane once again?
Oh yeah, I mean it feels great. It was a really good race. After the kind of heartbreak of Daytona, I led the most laps, I believe, and I just got turned on a restart. Just a racing deal. So it's good to come back the next week and run like I did. I feel like Jameer was a little bit better than me, honestly, on even tires. And it just so happened that he got stuck in traffic more times than not, and I just kind of got lucky to be able to pull away from him multiple times. But then these cautions would keep coming out to bring him right back to me, and I knew that if he started second or third and I was in first, he would more than likely get past me after about 10 or 15 laps, because I think I was a little better than him on the short run, but he would definitely run me back down there after he would pass the cars that were holding him up. And I just thought I had to do something different there on that last caution. I knew we had 3 or 4 laps on our tires, and at Atlanta, man, it just means so much. I figured starting about 10th would be fair game as long as it ran green, and I got lucky that it did.
Definitely. You talk about it being lucky, but a certain somebody whose name we'll mention here is Mikey Neal, told us that if you were here, you were going to be the guy to beat. That you had run in the official top split and basically run away with it by 8 seconds. So you didn't quite have that big of a lead here tonight. But you did make him look very smart by calling the winner here tonight. So that being said, having that practice in the official, did that give you kind of an edge or an advantage coming into this race?
I definitely think it could have given me an advantage. I feel like it also may have hurt me a tiny bit because I had only ran B Open the entire week. I think I've ran 8 or 9 or 7 B Open races, I think. And I won 4 of them. It's just we have a really good set, and I learned the track really well, but I thought that it was going to give me a lot more an advantage than it did, because I got in here and I just thought I didn't need to practice because I was already loosened up from the Open races. And I got in the race with the set, and the set was nothing like what I had driven this week. It was just so tight in the center of the corner, and I really didn't know how to handle the tires, and I think that showed because after 10 laps, Jameer was easily faster than me. So I definitely, if I run a lot of Open next week, I'm definitely going to do a lot more practice on the fixed set before the race that I did today, just to get used to the tightness, because most of the times the fixed sets are pretty tight, and I just wasn't ready for it. But like I said, I got lucky with the way that last caution fell. I think Jameer would have beat me if that last caution didn't come out, because we were on even tires and there were 20, 25 laps to go. I don't think I could have held him off for that long. So I'm happy with the way it turned out.
Well, definitely worked out in your favor. You get the win here tonight. We know you got some sponsors and shout-outs, so who would those be for that win here tonight? Yeah,
just like the other two said, Gold Building Contractors, Gold Cube, iRacing Drivers World, Huffman Designs, and my B Open team, One Sim Motorsports, where we just started about 2.5 weeks ago, and we've won a bunch of races already. So I'm just excited to see what's going on over there, and excited for all the other sponsors on board as well.
All right, again, congrats on the win here tonight. We are not done just yet. We have one more piece of business to take care of before we sign off for tonight's broadcast. And that, of course, does include the sponsors of the race. Those do include Global Building Contractors, your presenting sponsor here for tonight's race, iRacing Drivers World, and, of course, Gold Cube coming on board. That will just about do it, of course. Excuse me, for the sponsors here for tonight's broadcast. Those include Northwest Racing Series, Walls Beard Co., RaceOnTexas.com, Sim Speed Shop, iBog, RACECORE themselves, Hanover Wrecker Service, On the Edge Motorsports, and Huffman Designs. On behalf of everyone here, Virtual Racing Network, and the RACECORE team and drivers, we will see you at the next race next Sunday night.